Welcome back to another edition of Stuff You Don't Usually See. You know how this works. So we record a segment for a group of local radio stations every week, but you usually don't get to see that. Now you get to see that. Guest today, Kendra Davis. How are you doing, Kendra?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So official title is Events Coordinator, is that right?
Yes.
For Visit College Station.
Yes, that's correct.
And for people who don't know or may not remember, Visit College Station is our tourism division for the city of College Station.
Yes, right? We've been operating under you guys for over a year now.
Yeah, that's right.
We got absorbed back in August of last year, so we're rocking and rolling.
You're family now.
Yes, we are.
So before we get started to talk about the topic that you're here to talk about, which is Christmas in College Station,
yes.
And because we're recording this a couple of weeks before Halloween, quick question: what was your favorite Halloween costume when you were growing up?
My favorite one was probably the Powerpuff Girls. Do you remember them?
Yes.
I was Bubbles one year. I had like the blonde hair and everything. It was really fun.
That was your best?
That was probably my best one.
All
yeah.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
I was Spider-Man for several years in a row.
Okay.
Which never fooled anybody because not only was I Spider-Man every year, but back then, hard to believe, I had this giant head of hair that would stick up over the mask, and I think I had somebody describe it like a turkey hiding behind a log.
Okay.
You know, where the feathers are just like this. So, yeah, that was me.
And then you had a wife and kids, and you kind of maybe lost your hair after that or something.
Yep, fell out in clumps.
Yeah,
it was just
that happens.
Game over.
Yeah, that's okay.
So you ready to do the radio thing?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Well, thank you and good morning. My guest today is Kendra Davis. Kendra is the events coordinator for Visit College Station. How are you doing, Kendra?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So you are here to talk about the upcoming Christmas in College Station campaign.
Yes.
So I'm going to have you start with, what is Christmas in College Station? What's that all about?
Sure. So Christmas in College Station is a little bit of everything. Just to preface, we started it last year. It's done in partnership with Santa's Wonderland. So really, it's an entire campaign that starts in November, ends at the end of December, and it's really something that we do to try to make College Station the ultimate Christmas destination. So again, it's done in partnership with Santa's Wonderland, but we kind of come in and implement some other aspects such as Santa's certified hotels. This year we actually implemented a new Christmas ornament, and then we have events of our own that we also implement, and we put a lot of marketing behind it and really try to beef it up to let people know, this is why you should come to College Station for the holidays.
Okay, so we got a lot to unpack from what you just laid out.
Yes, we do.
Let's start with Santa's Wonderland because you mentioned that partnership. Why has it been so strategic for us to partner with Santa's Wonderland?
Yes, so Santa's Wonderland brings in over 300,000 people every year. I mean, that number has grown and is continuing to grow. I mean, people come in from all over Texas, even out of state, to go to that park. Mm-hmm. So from a tourism perspective, we thought that we could really partner with them and amplify that because we know people are already coming to College Station to go to the park. So why not really beef that up and add on to what the park offers by having our own events and things to do while people are here. So definitely from a tourism and economic development perspective, it just makes sense for us to partner with Santa's Wonderland because they're bringing in so much traffic.
Yeah. So if we can get them to come into town,
yes,
and spend a little money,
yes,
and maybe even stay the night because there are other cool things happening, say the next day or the day before their Santa's Wonderland experience.
Yes, exactly.
Then that's a victory for us.
Yes, absolutely. So that's kind of where these other key components come into play that I mentioned was the Santa certified hotels and those events that we host, but also the events that have been happening in our community for years, such as Christmas in the Park and the Brazos Valley Symphony Orchestra. So just, again, trying to really beef that up to get people into our community to stay the night, stay an extra night, get into our restaurants and our businesses and spend some extra money.
Yeah. So last year was really the first time that you guys tried to package all that stuff up in a very focused way.
Yes.
What have you learned over the course of a year, aside from having to deal with COVID? But what have you learned over the past year that might have changed the way you're approaching Christmas in College Station this year?
Oh gosh, what have I not learned?
Yeah.
I mean, there's really just so many things. There's so many moving pieces. I think last year it was really baptism by fire. We were just trying to figure out what works, and within that process, we learned also what doesn't work.
Sure.
But I think one thing that we really have learned throughout all of this is supporting our businesses, because they've been here with us through it all. And I think during COVID, we really saw that. And so this campaign has really allowed us to see that from a different perspective, which is why we've really been trying to implement this holiday deals pass that we also implemented last year, but this year we're kind of trying to kick it off earlier and get as many restaurants and establishments involved as we possibly can. That is just a great way to get people in those doors that are offering discounts or specials, but also, just aside from supporting local businesses, it's also a matter of creating events and things in spaces that haven't really been utilized in the past. So Northgate, for example, we had our first Howdy Holidays at Northgate last year, and it just blew up. I mean, people were like, why don't we have more events like this at Northgate? Or, we should do X, Y, and Z. And so from that, we've been able to implement other things, such as Homegrown at Northgate. That's not only a Christmas-related event, and then also utilizing other entertainment districts like Jones Crossing and Century Square. So it's just been amazing to see something really spiral out of control when really we just kind of started this and we're like, well, we're just going to see if this works. We're just going to see how things perform. And now we've just laid this footprint for ourselves, and it's been really amazing.
Spiral out of control in a delightful way.
In a delightful way, not derogatory.
Okay.
I will say, sometimes I feel like my life is spiraling out of control when I'm planning all of this, but, my cup is definitely filled at the end of the day.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay, so you also mentioned a holiday ornament. What is that about?
So we got this idea, actually, Brian Woods, our city manager, kind of had this idea to, why not create this memento? Let's give someone something to help them remember their time here in College Station, specifically Christmas, but also a memento for them to hang on their tree and think about memories that they've made here, maybe at a football game or maybe just passing through or something of that nature. So just from that conversation, I took it to our friends over at Aggieland Outfitters, and we partnered with them this year to create a 2021 holiday ornament that is a skyline of College Station. So here, if you're from here, you kind of know the skyline. There's the A&M campus, there's the George Bush Library, there's the water tower. So we tried to include that in that ornament, and it says the Heart of Aggieland on it. So that's actually available for purchase now for people. $24.99 is the price, and it's available for purchase at Aggieland Outfitters on University Drive and on the website. So anyone and everyone is able to purchase that.
So is the intent to create a different ornament every year, or are you going to kind of ride with this one for a while and then at some point in the future you go with a different design?
So the idea is a new ornament every year. We specifically dated this one so that that way people can get a new one each year. Yeah. So it really just, kind of exemplifies that whole memento aspect.
So are there any critical dates related or events related to Christmas in College Station that you know of that you want to point out to people?
Yes, I have a whole list here. So Christmas in College Station really kicks off November 12th. That is the opening weekend of Santa's Wonderland. We're also having a kickoff to Christmas in College Station event at Aggieland Outfitters from 11 to 3, November 12th and November 13th. Okay. So there will be some vendors outside of Aggieland Outfitters. That's also Ring Weekend here in College Station. Wow. It's going to be pretty jam-packed. I know our hotels are super excited to just kind of get things started with a bang. So we'll be doing that November 12th and 13th. And then I believe that Parks and Recreation kicks off their whole Christmas shebang with Christmas in the Park December 3rd and 4th. So we're really excited that that's happening again this year. And then aside from that, we have Howdy Holidays at Northgate again. This will be our second year hosting that from 4 to 8 p.m. on December 11th. And then the next weekend we have Dine Around Jones Crossing. So that's December 18th from 5 to 8 p.m. And then that Sunday is the Holiday Artisan Market at Century Square. So that's starts December 19th from 12 to 4.
So you do have a lot of stuff already.
We do have a lot. There's way more than that. Those are just things that are off the top of my head. If anyone's interested in seeing that like all-inclusive list, you can go to christmasncs.com.
Okay.
And that really showcases everything that's going on. I mean, the Brazos Valley Symphony Orchestra is having their Holiday Pops concert. Reed Arena is having multiple events. So, those are just a few things, really. There's so many things going on, and it's just amazing to see our community coming together to celebrate the holidays.
And I'll give one extra plug for the folks in parks who put together the Christmas in the Park event. The Lights On happen November 25th and continue through New Year's Day, 6 to 11 p.m. on each of those nights.
Yes.
And then, like you mentioned, the events weekend for Christmas in the Park is December 3rd and 4th from 6 to 10. And so their information at cstx.gov/Christmas, but the entire Christmas in College Station, I don't know, everything about it, all the information is compiled at christmasincs.com.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What did I leave out? What do you want to make sure folks know?
There's so much. It's hard to really touch on everything, but I will say that page, christmasincs.com, is going to be updated. So, even if there's not something there right now, we'll continue to update it as we learn about it. And I would like to shamelessly plug my Howdy Holidays at Northgate. We've actually implemented a new aspect this year. It's a sip and shop. So that's something that going back to your question, what have you learned? That's something we learned last year is we really want to get those establishments involved at Northgate to get people in their doors. So that specific aspect is for those 21 and up. They can get a festive beverage. It allows them to kind of get a taste of some of the Northgate establishments. But there's also that family aspect as well, where we'll have snow and an ice skating rink, and vendors will be out. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited.
It sounds great.
Yes.
Okay, so go visit christmasincs.com, learn all about Christmas in College Station. Kendra Davis, Events Coordinator for Visit College Station. Thanks a bunch for visiting with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet. And thank you guys for letting us come on and talk about the city of College Station. And that is stuff you don't usually see. Well, that was easy.
That was a lot of stuff.
You got a lot of stuff in.